Hey guys, it's Jenna again. How are you guys doing today? Hope you guys are doing good. I know I'm doing pretty well. I'm on day 3 of my vacation right now, so I'm enjoying it. What am I talking about today? I'm gonna talk today about some movies that kind of creep me out a little bit. Because I know I don't really state too much on like what kind of scares me or what movies might like creep me out. Because I'm not usually scared too much by a lot of horror movies. Like I know, like when I was younger, like a little kid, there were movies that creeped me out. Like I would get freaked out by like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff. But now like those movies don't really creep me out as much. They're fun for me. But there are, some things, once in a while that might kind of scare me, or even things that I've been watching for years and years, that might have some things about it that still kind of creep me out. Um, like some of the stuff that when I first initially watched them, there might have been like small little things that definitely kind of gave me the willies a little bit. Um, like when I first watched the movie It Follows, which that movie, like, I have to say, like, the first like third of that movie, maybe the first half of that movie, I felt like was pretty solid. It had a pretty solid build up, but then like the rest of the movie just I feel like was such a disappointment. It just totally fell off the cliff after that. But in that movie, there's a specific scene that, just kind of thinking about it, just like makes me feel a little like creeped out a little bit. And it's the scene where the one girl, who has this little like horror STD, like and she like sees the apparition or whatever coming after her, and so she runs, I think, like into her room or whatever, and like her sister or her friend or whatever kind of is like running in after her, opens the door, it's like what, and right behind this girl is this big, huge, very intimidating like apparition. That just still, like I said, just thinking about that kind of gives me the willies a little bit, like, you know, it's probably like one of the few things I actually like about that movie. Not the biggest fan of that movie, really not, but like I said, that one little scene just definitely has had an impact on me. It's definitely one of the more recent movies that sort of gave me the willies a little bit, just from that one scene. Um, Another one that's a little bit older, but still like fairly recent, was the first Paranormal Activity movie, and I know that's one of those movies that like a lot of people don't like because you don't see anything happen. It's like, oh God forbid you let your mind kind of create its own sort of like visuals and stuff. I definitely kind of like that first movie. The second one was okay. After that, it was kind of like, ugh. Um, but yeah, that first one, especially like at the end, when like everything really just kind of like culminates and all that, it just, I remember when I first watched that movie, I picked up a copy, I think from Blockbuster, when Blockbuster was still around, like right before they went out of business. Um, and of course, I watched it by myself, um, at, you know, at night at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And I remember I had to be at work the next day at like 6 a.m. So probably not the best decision because I really honestly didn't think I was going to be that scared. But like the end of that movie, like, ooh, it just kind of creeped me out so much because I was like, a ghost is gonna come and get me. A ghost is gonna come and get me, and I think that kind of scared me a lot because I do believe in ghosts and stuff. I do believe in like the supernatural and all that. So that really just, I mean, I have a little easier time watching it now because I mean I've seen it a couple times, but it's still just a little kind of creeps me out a little bit. Um, but as for like movies that I've seen quite a number of times that still just, ooh, like not like scares me so much where I'm like, oh my god, I can never watch it again. Because obviously some of these movies I do watch over and over again, and I do watch them because they do sort of invoke some of that like fear in me. Um, like the movie Pet Cemetery. Overall, I'm not totally like scared by that movie. Like I said, it's one of those movies that I've seen over and over again. I love watching that movie. Just watched it a couple weeks ago, a week ago maybe. And the character Zelda, just every time I see that character, it just, oh, it kind of creeps me out a little bit. Just that whole Rachel, Rachel, and just so like, just but it, you know what? It's a good thing though, because it's they did a pretty good job with that character. The actor who did that was actually I believe played by a male actor. Uh, d- awesome job at that character. I love it. I do. I love watching that movie specifically because of Zelda. Because, like I said, that character just gives me the just makes me so uncomfortable. That one of my favorite characters in a movie. But yeah, like I said, just that character alone. I mean, I can even tolerate the little reanimated Gage. Like I can. I mean, that little kid was freaky as hell. But Zelda just, ugh, just scared the bejeebies out of me as a kid. I think my sister used to like tease me using like the Zelda voice as a kid, you know, but whatevs. Another movie that I actually just recently rewatched because I don't actually own it on DVD or Blu-ray. I don't even know if it's on Blu-ray, but I saw that Shudder actually was uploading it about a month ago. A movie called The Gates. Which, if you guys have never seen that movie, watch it. It's actually a good movie. That movie just has always sort of creeped me out. One of my favorites. I love that movie, and still one of those few movies that I've seen again and again and again that still just um and it's a couple of things. Number one, like that old guy that like comes that like literally falls out of the or not the window, the wall, and it's kind of like hanging, like half of his body's kind of hanging out of the wall. You think he's just a corpse in the walls for some reason of this house. Um, oh, that guy just, oh. Like, I'm sure in a couple of my videos, like, you guys have seen my Jim Morrison poster that's on my wall. Like, every so often, I'm always like, what if something, like, just falls out of there or something? Like, oh, just... And plus, too, like, my house that I live in, it's an older house. I think it was built in, like, the 60s, so it's, like, 50 years old. You could hear everything in this house. Like, someone could be going down like the basement stairs. Like I'm on the second level and I can hear someone going down the basement stairs. Or I could, if someone opens a door, I can tell you exactly which door in the house that they're opening. Um, it just, or if someone's like on the phone, like I literally when before my dad had done like um some remodeling in our house earlier this year, his bedroom was actually like located directly below my room, and literally like through the vents I could hear everything. So like I could, like, if he was on the phone in his bedroom, I could hear the conversation. Or if he um was sleeping and he, like, sometimes he talks in his sleep. Yeah, like I could hear him talking in his sleep. And it's funny too because like sometimes he would talk in English and sometimes he'd be talking gibberish in Spanish, and I'm like, so it's like I can hear everything. So I think that's why I kind of like am freaked out by this movie a little bit, especially when, like I said, you have this like dead guy that comes out of the wall is just like, I always kind of think of that of like, oh my god, what if something's in the wall and something just like, you know, breaks out of the wall or something. Like, I know there's no dead people in my house, in the walls of my house, but that's still just creepy. And some of the like sort of like dream sequences in that movie, like when the little kid is dreaming that his parents came back for their trip or whatever, and like he's kind of having a semi normal conversation with his dad or who is supposed to be his dad, and that ends up like grrr, you weird voice and everything, and then like the kid like touches the dad's face, and like the dad's face like caves in, and you get all this like yellow mucusy gooey stuff just pouring all over. Just, oh, that freaked me out. And then it like turns into the dog or something, or like the mom, the dead mother like turns into like the dog that's it's actually dead. Like, it just, there's a few, like I said, there's a few things like that in that movie that freak me out a little bit, but in a good way. Because like I said, I'm not always very easily scared with horror movies. I'm sure probably with like a lot of you horror fans, because we watch so many movies that sometimes it's like it's harder for us to kind of get scared with some of these movies. But yeah, The Gate, like if I want like to be scared, I'm like, all right, I need to be scared. Like, I've been watching too many movies that haven't really scared me. I gotta go to this movie, watch it, because like I said, I know I'm gonna get kind of like creeped out a little bit, even though I know what's gonna happen. I've seen it probably like 23 times in my life. It still it still kind of strikes that nerve in me of making me scared. So, and for a movie to do that, and like I said, like, if I've seen a movie a million times, but it still can give me a little bit of like the willies, job well done. It's a pretty good movie when you can at least scare someone who has watched it several times. But yeah, like, sorry, once again, I'm thinking about that movie and some of the scenes. I'm like, if you guys, like I said, if you guys have never seen The Gate, check it out. It's not the greatest movie, but it's definitely worth checking it out. But yeah, so those are just kind of like some of the things that sort of creep me out, even now as an adult. I had to kind of share it, so you guys kind of knew what kind of scared me and stuff. Because I know I've never really fully mentioned like what scares me, but yeah, there are things that do scare me in horror movies. Um, so now that you guys know kind of like what scares me, let me know like what scares you, what may have scared you when you were younger. So let me know. Drop a line in the comments. Let me know what scares you guys. But until next time, you guys stay creepy, and as always, you guys stay classy.